Witch is one of the most talked about horror films of 2016, and with good reason. It isn't a typical scare fest where it's competing with other scary movies with how many times it can get you to jump. It follows in the trend of movies like The Babadook and It Follows, where the scenario, themes, and atmosphere are what's upsetting and horrific, not so much things popping out at you. And in the spirit of Halloween, I wanted to take a look at this movie and not dissect so much what makes it scary, although it is, but as to why it's much more than just a genre movie. Our narrative point of reference in this film largely rests with Thomasin, who's a teenager approaching adulthood, and it's her teenagedom that's crucial to understanding the themes of the movie. As any human being understands, being listened to and understood is a crucial element of our life. And when we're ignored, unheard, or misunderstood, it can be frustrating, and this is especially true in our teenage years. It's why the word rebel is almost synonymous with teenager. Teenagers rebel because they feel like their parents and the world at large don't understand them. And our protagonist, Thomasin, even in a story taking place in the 1630s, Thomasin's family views her as the black sheep. No, that's a goat. And maybe black sheep is too strong of a phrase because they don't necessarily think of her as a disgrace, but she is not treated in the same regard as the other children. This is, of course, due to the disappearance of the newborn in the family under her care, which naturally leads to distrust, even though there was nothing she could have done. So afterwards, there's an air of unwarranted blame surrounding every little thing Thomasin does. A family heirloom goes missing, and we know it was William, Thomasin's father, that sold it, and yet Thomasin takes the blame. The animals become restless due to the appearance of a suspicious rabbit, but Thomasin is blamed for not getting the animals ready for sleep. Her brother disappears, becomes possessed, and dies, but she's to blame because of her younger siblings accusing her of being a witch, something she had said to them in jest, and because she was the last to be seen with her brother. As her family is destroyed one member at a time, she continuously protests, begging to be heard. She literally says to her father at one point, "Will you not hear me?" Her family is full of sinners, and yet she's the one to be declared the worst of the bunch. The twins are misbehaved little wretches that badger the animals, particularly Black Phillip, and spread rumors and lies. Her brother loves her, but it stems from an incestuous lust for her. Her mother hates her, proposing to send her away to another family, no matter the fact that Thomasin continues to do nothing wrong. And finally, there's her father and his pride. It's his pride that got them banished from their homes and sent into the woods in the first place. He even admits as much at the climax of the movie, but it comes as too little too late. After all of this, even after murdering her own mother in self-defense, Thomasin still loves her family. It's perfectly symbolized by Thomasin holding her dead mother, grief-stricken for the woman that gave birth to her, even though Thomasin's mother hated her. All of that simply because her family wouldn't listen to her, truly listen, and understand her. And it's easy to see why she would turn to the first person to actually listen, Black Phillip. He listens, and he rewards. Thomasin's transformation into a witch is totally understandable, and not in some sort of satanic, evil way, but in a justifiably rebellious way. She wants to be listened to be understood, and she wants freedom, and those are all things that Black Phillip provides for her in the form of witchdom. The film uses Thomasin's transformation into a witch as a way to understand the needs of a teenager and just humans in general. So if you know a teenager, have one in your family, just take the time to listen to them and maybe try to see things from their point of view. You may not always understand, but that doesn't mean that you can't try. Because if you do that, you may never have to prepare yourself for a teenage rebellion.
I'd buy that for $1.
Oh, there it is.